thought I would surely die here. I had just quietly avoided a giant crocodile, only to turn around and encounter another. I ran for my life and finally found a hiding place, but that giant crocodile tore through the tree trunk as easily as if it was paper. Fortunately, it was suddenly dragged away by something, allowing me to escape. But when I was scared out of hiding by 12 massive centipedes, I discovered in horror that the creature that had hauled the crocodile away was a Tyrannosaurus Rex. I had no choice but to keep running. When I finally managed to evade this T-Rex's pursuit, only to find another one lurking right beside me, just as I thought I was about to be torn to shreds. A colossal figure suddenly lunged out of the jungle. He kicked the T-Rex aside and scooped me up in his hand. Strangely, even though he could have crushed me with a single finger, he never harmed me, even under siege by 3 T-Rexes. King Kong kept me shielded safely in his palm, eventually dispatching them with ease. Then he tossed me onto his shoulder and began to move swiftly through the forest. I wasn't afraid anymore, but felt a sense of security on this giant beast. He took me back to his lair. There I saw the most beautiful sunset. Looking at the lonely expression in his eyes, I suddenly realized he wasn't a monster. He was simply the last King Kong on this island, a lonely child. So when he held out his palm to me, I sat on it willingly. But I still had to return to the human world. When my boyfriend Jack found me, I chose to leave with him, using the bats flying out of the cave as a distraction. Jack led me down the vines, and we hitched a ride on a bat, and finally fled back to our landing site. I didn't expect King Kong to follow me all the way, and what I certainly didn't expect was my colleagues had prepared a trap for him. Anchors hooked into his flesh, tranquilizers smashed against his face, and harpoons struck his legs. Everyone was thrilled to have captured him. I was the only one screaming for them to stop. But my protests were useless. Under the effect of the drugs, this giant who had never bowed his head finally collapsed. Until the moment he lost consciousness, he was still reaching out toward me. He just thought I was in danger and wanted to take me home. The director saw the commercial potential in King Kong and brought him back to New York for exhibition, turning our experience on Skull Island into a stage play. But when King Kong realized the girl on stage wasn't me, he went into a frenzy and broke free from the shackles. The entire city fell victim to the giant beast's rage. But when I appeared before him again, this creature that terrified everyone else gave me a look of childlike grievance, as if blaming me for taking so long to show up. I let him pick me up and carried me away from the chaotic city center. We arrived at a frozen lake. It must have been the first time King Kong had ever seen ice. He played and slid on the ice like a child, and I was also immersed in that simple joy. Until a shell shattered the beautiful atmosphere. The army had arrived. King Kong carried me as we fled, eventually climbing the Empire State Building. Just then, the first light of dawn appeared. King Kong gently beat his chest. I suddenly realized he had brought me here just to watch a beautiful view with me like the ones on Skull Island. However, that peace was ultimately broken by the roar of fighter jets. King Kong carefully set me down and climbed to the roof alone, standing in front of all the gunfire.